well enough to still go for the slam dunks. Paul Anacone in the red cap at the back there, the coach of Pete Sampras. And incidentally, if you're wondering, yes, Steffi is here today. Came in whilst we were talking to Thomas Enquist and got a terrific reception. And the speed there, pretty quick indeed, 203 k's. A very impressive start by Pete Sampras. These are the maps of their last match in Cincinnati in the semi-final. You can see quite a difference there. When Sampras wins the point, frequently inside the court. Agassi doing better when he was able to keep Sampras on the baseline, but you'd expect that. True, do you go along with the general consensus that simply on the basis that this man is a little ring rusty, his opponent must be the favourite?
Well, I've got him wrong all year. I said he wasn't going to win Wimbledon. He looked at this time last year, well, just before this time at Stuttgart, and thereafter he looked a little shaky when he didn't play the Australian. I figured he'd lost a little bit of a real intensity, real love for the game, and I thought his serving had gone off. I thought his total dedication had gone off, but he won Wimbledon. He played phenomenal tennis yesterday. Kiefer's an unknown quantity when he doesn't play, but Sampras, if he serves as he served in the first game here, he's always a contender. Agassi knows that.
Agassi.
So Agassi's opening service game yet to win a point. Head-to-head record 16-10 in favour of Sampras. And this year 3-0 in favour of Sampras. Steffi between Brad Gilbert and Zach Gilbert.
A rose between two thorns? Well, no, wouldn't call young Zach a thorn just yet.
I'll pass on your remarks to Mr. Gilbert's solicitors, shall I? This wasn't in the script, I'm sure, so far as Agassi was concerned, to lose the first 6 points of the match.
Well, Agassi reassuring everyone. Enquist, of course, lost the first 6 points of his match against Kiefer, but ran out the winner. This is going to be the same here. Really fluffed that one, or muffed at Sampras, but he played that backhand return so well. He was chipping and charging against Curtin, and that unforgettable, of course, as we saw in the pre-show, the backhand down the line that he played so phenomenally well. One of the great shots of the tournament so far.
Oh no, well, Agassi's pointing long, but I had that on the line.
Yeah, I thought it got the line. A big call, of course, and we'll get a good view of it. I would give that just the outside edge of the line, I think.
Yeah, we're looking at the device that the host broadcasters have. We're very fortunate because the people who are running it are right in front of our commentary box, so we can look at their monitor. Unfortunately, we can't actually show it to you. We're not allowed to for contractual reasons. So, break point.
That was telling because it was a hard hit shot by Agassi, still worried about the call. But noticeably Sampras not able to extend across to his left, sort of get real power in the thigh. He knew he had to get at all costs the ball back in the court.
Court time, Agassi.
That was solid, yeah. That's directed at Brad Gilbert and Steffi. Just behind him there.
Agassi.
So maybe Agassi will forget about it now, having held serve 1-all.
Fine Spider, 1 game on.
First ace. $206 Ks. As the likelihood is that the winner of this match will go through to the semi-finals, not for certain. With a round-robin situation. You can get into a situation where, of course, 3 players have 2 wins in the group. If the loser of this match was to win the next one and the winner to lose the next one. Well, I thought he got a faint tickle on that myself through.
Yes,
I think I'd have given him out, but it's gone down as an ace.
Yeah, no, he certainly snicked it. A very positive, reassuring serving by Sampras. It's the top returner in the world. He needs to. Couldn't quite get in close enough. When he played the Agassi forehand down the line, he was quite a long way back.
Well, that was typical of the really crisp volleying that Sampras produced yesterday, and he leads 2-1 on serve.
Sampras field meeting.
A different world.
Aria from Triumph, The Pleasure of Conversation.
Lars Graf from Sweden in the chair for this one. The match everyone's been talking about ever since the draw on Monday paired Sampras and Agassi in the same group. Of course, we may get the luxury of a second encounter between them if they can both make it through to the final. First, though, they both have to qualify from this group in good shape, having won their opening matches. The two losers, Querten and Lepenti, meeting tonight. Gustavo Querten, Nicolas Lepenti. Here's Agassi serving at 1-2. Another one of the outrageous net cords. For a second successive service game, Agassi love 30. Agassi's fastest serve of the match, 195. And there's Lars's little palm top with the score.
Agassi wanting to know where he belongs, up on the right pad. Everything's got to be in place.
Too good.
Well, very often it's the Sampras forehand which does the damage. Of course, he'll rally for a few on the backhand, get a short one and really belt the forehand. But the backhand is looking so good this week so far.
2 more break points. This time he didn't really get hold of the backhand chip. No pace, no penetration. Easy pickings.
Yes, you say easy, but I'm sure you know it's pretty tense and not an easy shot to make when you've got as good a volleyer. But you've got to keep your head down, just concentrate on the ball, try and be unaware of the net player. Pick your spot. Clever play because he's not the serve volleyer that Sampras is. Does it only occasionally, but what an important time to do it.
Agassi.
Consistently over that 190 mark is very important for Agassi. Have a high first serve percentage, which he usually does. 57% in his match against Lepenti, not quite as high as he usually is.
Agassi.
So Agassi has been under threat. 3 break points have come and gone. And we wonder whether Sampras will rue those missed opportunities. 2-all.
Yet to see whether the forehand's going to function as brilliantly as it usually does against Agassi. It's very important that it does. He can't depend on that backhand scoring for him. He popped 1 or 2 brilliant forehands yesterday, but you know this is a different kettle of fish.
His first double.
And that's the second serve I began wondering about last year. Oh, watch Agassi here trying to do it sort of roundabout way.
You see, I used to hit my forehand like that. Landers, the physical trainer, alongside Paul Anacone.
Well, Agassi certainly covering the serve down the middle, was onto it quickly. And it's the beauty of the Sampras game, that even if the good returner, the great returner, makes a fairly decent shot, he's able to back up his serve with a terrific forehand volley.
Well, I guess he was waiting for that one. Sampras really didn't get the angle he was looking for. Into the pocket of the receiver, and Agassi's first break point.
It's twice in a row to that right court he's been on to the swinging serve. Well, that is just brilliant. Dipping return from Agassi. Sampras had to play it so low. Now where does he go with two serves out wide? 2 points to Agassi. Well, terrific scrambling by Agassi. Sampras not putting everything into it. I think still shielding his back a little bit.
Agassi really now getting hold of some of these Sampras first serves.
182 on that one.
And Sampras serving at 71% of first serves in too. He stood his ground and was perfectly placed.
Yes, Sampras had the choice here. Decided that he had a bit more court into which to hit the forehand. That perhaps just lacking a little bit of confidence rather than swinging it down the line. And of course just left too much open space. Agassi pretty deadly down the line.
Second break point for Agassi. Well, our colleague Jaakko Elting, when we were having dinner with him last night, was saying, you watch Sampras, if he's in trouble, will serve down the tee. Certainly did then.
Yes, I think part of the reason for his serve going off a bit last year and early this year was the fact that he actually on the right court kept going too much to the forehand side and didn't serve down the middle enough.
Oh. Well, you couldn't wish for a better point than that, could you? Every shot perfect.
Yes, I'm sure Agassi wouldn't agree with you about this, but the pressure was on. It was a good enough shot, and you had to be a bird, really, to get the volley. Agassi will have set himself higher standard and say, if I hit a perfect shot, Sampras won't get it back.
Going for a really big second serve there. 185, just asking for the towel. Don't think he's about to throw it in though. Those stats are rather counterbalanced by the winner's stat. 12 for Sampras, just the 4 for Agassi. Yeah, and that's, you might say, is he showing off? No, he's just telling the ball kid, don't hang it over the flowers. And that's not because he didn't want the petals of the flower. That's because, of course, it gets in the eye line. And Agassi getting him involved in the fun. It's juice.
Well, there's my point about just going out wide a little too often.
For child Agassi.
The longer route, of course, the one down the middle, so much quicker, but perhaps a greater element of chance in it. But then Sampras usually reacts to that element so well, which is why he's as great as he is.
Third break point. And here now surely the chance for Agassi on the second serve.
Will Sampras go in?
Gifted it.
Agassi.
2 double faults. In fact, 3 in the game, and they were very expensive. And Agassi moves ahead. 3-2.
Woofer. Woofer, the first interactive racket. Join the Babolat team.
Terrific start to this match, each of them with 3 break points, but it's Agassi who's taken advantage of one, and he has the lead then at 3-2. Another one that dribbles over.
Well, virtually matching Sampras in the serving stakes, and that's pretty important. These Sampras double faults, the real Achilles heel so far.
Well, the first time we've really seen Sampras go for the big forehand. Agassi backs up the break with a love game.
Clever service game by Agassi, because power on the first one, getting it in. No possibility of Sampras really making the inroad, then checking his serve on the second point, getting a much slower one in. And now the study of the Sampras second serve.
Well, he smashed the racket.
It's not only the strings.
15 love.
Not one he's going to get a code violation for, I hasten to add.
Yes, quite.
They don't know, these manufacturers these days, Fru.
Don't make them as they used to, do they?
Not like in our day, eh? Those timber frames.
Appeals to a warped sense of humour anyway. Agassi's all business. He needs to be against Sampras. Sampras just showing a bit more of the showman.
A fourth double. And of course a very different scenario from yesterday, when Sampras probably was thinking to himself, well, I can, as long as I can get a decent second serve in, I'll be all right. Whereas now he's got to get his best second serve in. Oh, and that's a poor volley. And here's Agassi now with chances for a fourth successive game.
Yes, Sampras over the years with one of the great second serves, and it's possibly this rivalry, of course, that has made him develop that phenomenal serve, but it's not here today, not yet.
Not much on that volley either. And Agassi takes full advantage. It's a double break and a 5-2 lead.
Agassi führt mit 5:2. He leads 5 games to 2. Neue Bälle bitte.
Time protects more than you alone.
Neu. Team von Adidas.
Fresh shirt for Andre Agassi, and it's Pete Sampras who needs a fresh start, having lost 4 games in a row, and no wonder Fraulein Graf is smiling. And obviously young Zach is keeping her thoroughly amused.
It's quite a day for the locals, of course, was Boris Becker is here and was very much courtside during the Kiefer match, the match preceding this.
New balls in play, and Agassi serving for the opening set.
Well, the last time Agassi beat Sampras was Toronto '98, and he won the second and third sets there, 6-1, 6-2.
Having lost the first 6-7. Indoors, incidentally, it's 6-3 in favour of Sampras.
Well, the study of the backhand has been so far positive. The forehand hasn't yet passed the test, hasn't played enough of them, needs to. Just couldn't quite get on top of that.
Yeah, that's where you would almost expect an on-form, a match-tied Sampras to make this one. I've seen him make so many over the years. Set point.
Agassi.
5 games in a row for the world number one, and Sampras will indeed rue those early break points that slipped away.
6-2, 6 games to 2.
First set lasting 34 minutes.
Well, Agassi knows there are still possible storms ahead, but really the lightning has got to be on the Sampras serve, particularly the second serve. His first serve percentage generally around about the 60% mark.
Just a third ace.
Well, that's a significant ace, because I think that's another first serve he needs a lot. It's the side in which Agassi has less reach, because of course he's playing the two-hander there. It's the shortest route for Sampras to smack the ball down.
Varying it nicely, the one into the body. Love game for Sampras. But then he started the first set with a love service game.
First game, second set.
Well, we've seen all 8 players here, and just a thought that it's the first tournament, first ATP final since 1971 in which we haven't had a left-hander. Yes, they weren't the ATP finals then, with the Masters, but it's been a long while without a right-hander.
The unforced errors in the end really hurting Sampras. At one stage he was way ahead in the winners' count. Points won against the Sampras serve. Sampras rather getting trapped a little bit too far back for his comfort. And Agassi managing to step in just inside the baseline. The direction of the serve, first and second. And for Sampras, perhaps too many of those out wide to the deuce court through.
Yes, and certainly Agassi concentrating on the Sampras backhand, as of course he would generally, but I think Sampras, particularly to the right court, has got to smack a few more of those yellow ones down the middle.
At least Sampras has stopped the run of 5 straight games against him. Agassi serving love one.
Because the Sampras serve directly at the body. Sampras, after that serve of Agassi, really looking long and hard at his racket. Not a good sign. Sampras needs some of her forearms now.
Agassi.
First ace of the match from Agassi.
And on the 200 kilometre an hour mark. So just the 4 aces and his easy win against Lepenti.
Confirmation of the service speed. Well, he didn't hold back on that slam dunk and just came down a fraction gingerly.
Well, the signature shot, I suppose, of Sampras. He needs a bit of help. One of those line-out forwards to lift him up. Here's the express train down the middle. trying to go straight at Agassi. Agassi making room though, and he was a dead duck really once he hadn't got any purchase on the low volley.
Sampras is almost a dead duck if he misses the first serve. He's won just 3 of 12 points on the second serve, which even I can work out as 25%.
Yes, and Agassi, the best in the world this year at winning points on his opponent's second serve, winning 56% of them.
And there's another, and it's break point.
30 watching.
Every time Sampras has won this event, of course, he's lost a match in the round-robin part of the draw.
Champion in 91, 94, 96 and 97. Agassi the champion in 90.
Sampras.
Rather late. I actually thought it was a good call.
Sampras.
Yeah, Agassi will be a little disappointed with that. He had the chances to get at the second serves at the end of the game. 2-1 Sampras.
He leads 2 games.
Time Life Music hat sie, die neue Serie Classic Country mit den besten Country-Hits. Pures Country-Vergnügen. Ihre erste Doppel-CD gibt's jetzt zum Kennenlernpreis von nur 24,95. Rufen Sie gleich an.
You are so beautiful. Me.
If you love me, let me know. If you don't, then let me go.
Classic Country, die ultimative Serie für alle Country-Fans. Garantiert nicht im Handel erhältlich.
Jolene, 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 Jolene.
Let's go to looking back to
Classic Country mit den schönsten Country-Songs aller Zeiten. Holen Sie sich gleich Ihre erste Doppel-CD der Serie Classic Country zum einmaligen Einstiegspreis von nur 24,95. Rufen Sie jetzt 080 532 3232.
You're watching Eurosport live coverage of the second day of the ATP Tour World Championship in Hanover with Fred McMillan and myself, David Mercer. Pete Sampras managing to stave off a break point in that last game, leading 2-1 second set, but having lost the first to Andre Agassi. Earlier today, Thomas Enquist coming through 6-4, 7-5 against Nicholas Kiefer. That's a terrific shot from Agassi, because Sampras has got his chip as deep as he could.
And got it too pretty well down the middle. I'm not sure he was intending that, but it eliminates angle for Agassi.
Now the forehand isn't flowing today.
It's hit so flat and so hard, the Sampras forehand, that he really needs to be in peak condition to control it. Either that or very relaxed. It worked for him yesterday. There'll be a lot more tension though against his fellow American here. In fact, I think Agassi is really the reason that Sampras is playing this event. Two majors, number one in the world.
Both of them have now had 2 love service games. Fifth double, first of this set, and the 4 in the first set was so expensive.
Well, so much pressure on with Agassi returning as well. Sampras knows he's got to really punch those volleys, otherwise he's sitting there for Agassi to pass. Good footwork by Sampras in order to get good power on the backhand. Actually just not getting hold of this, keeping perhaps a little lower, or perhaps more accurately, he didn't quite get down low enough.
He wasn't quite up to that ball, certainly not in a position to attempt a delicate stop volley. And for a second successive Sampras service game, it's break point.
Yeah, you've got to be on top of your game to make those.
And Agassi breaks through. And the world number one looking very strong right now. Fifth game of both sets he's broken. indoor statistics of these two men.
Time.
Agassi's won indoor title this year, of course, coming at the Paris indoors, beating Marat Safin in the final. Sampras hasn't lost a match indoors this year, but hasn't won a title. Injury problems, of course, but 22-1 overall out of his 60 career titles. It's San Jose at the start of the year, he pulled out of.
Yes, it was. His very first tournament of the year. Withdrew against Philip Koussis.
And then, of course, played just the one match in the Paris indoors and withdrew. Well, he got a couple of forehands in for the first time, but not the drive volley.
It's almost an experimental shot by Sampras. Cross-court forehand volley would have been on, but he wasn't giving himself much margin there.
A second double fault from Agassi.
Give the ball kids another instant lesson.
So the pattern of the first set repeated. Sampras leading 2-1, but then falling behind. Now he needs to stop the run earlier this time than last time.
Well, he's usually so silky smooth on the low forehand volley.
And after his slightly hesitant start, Agassi hasn't half returned and passed well.
It's a bit of a demolition job at the moment.
Agassi swinging the ball like a football.
It's well into the 180s, this. Just takes it on the rise.
And that's surely that. Agassi up a double break. He'll serve for the match at 5-2.
5-2. He leads 5 games to 2.
Ist Ihre Krankenversicherung auch zu teuer? Reagieren Sie jetzt. Eine private Krankenvollversicherung gibt es für einen 30-jährigen Mann bereits ab ca. 216 Mark. Fordern Sie Ihren Tarif-Leistungsvergleich an. Bei uns kostenlos. Rufen Sie jetzt an. Impuls 0130 1006.
It'll be interesting to hear what they both have to say afterwards. I suspect Sampras will admit, well, to play the best player in the world this year so soon into his comeback was just too soon. Lacking the cutting edge, the big forehand, those silky half volleys that Frew was talking about. Needs a few more matches.
May yet get them, of course, another round-robin match and hopefully a semi-final before he meets Agassi again. All potential, but that's what Sampras will be hoping.
But let's take nothing away from Agassi. He has played superbly, really, from the moment he saved those early break points.
Back to their very first meeting as professionals in Rome in '89, where Agassi won 6-2, 6-1 to come across anything quite as one-sided as this. That on clay, of course. Played one another as juniors, of course.
40-0 for Chile.
3 match points.
Spielsatz und Sieg. Agassi.
Sampras having a little look.
6-2, 6-2.
But a comprehensive victory for Pete Sampras, for Andre Agassi, 6-2, 6-2. Sampras undoubtedly got a lot of sharpness to recover after the long layoff. Agassi, well, maintaining his brilliant form. And he is virtually certain now of a place in the semi-finals.
Well, so typical of Agassi, firstly realising his place in the game, realising what a draw card he is, and just responding to the crowd, or making them perhaps respond to him. But I'm sure they all responded. We all respond to such professional job he did against Sampras. Sampras obviously not at his best, but any lesser player, and Sampras may well have found his form during the course of the match, but not against Agassi. That was quite outstanding in-front tennis.
Yeah, the unforced errors really hurting Sampras, and certainly the double faults did, crucially in the first set. But a big hand for Sampras, and as Frew was saying, who knows, we may well see these two meet again in the final, by which time Sampras will have played 2 more matches, if he gets through. Big if, of course, and maybe that little bit sharper. You can see that if Sampras was stuck on the baseline, he was in trouble. Doing much better when he was able to press forward. And a huge cheer for Steffi Graf. It was noticeable in the second set that Sampras did change the line of attack with the first serve, going much more down the tee, but by then the damage had been done, and you can see Agassi only once did he serve to the forehand in both the juice court and the ad court. He was just plugging away at the Sampras backhand. Good tactics.
Gegen 19:10 Uhr gibt es hier noch große Show. Das Musical Jekyll and Hyde ist zu Gast hier im Expo 2000 Tennisdome. Also seien Sie rechtzeitig wieder hier
we will look forward
auf dem Center Court. Und jetzt habe ich noch einen Hinweis
to welcoming you back this evening.
Herr Michael Krüger, rufen Sie bitte
or
dringend
Gustavo
Ihre Firma
Kuerten against Nicholas Lepenti.
Um 19:10 Uhr wieder. Bis
We
dahin
hope
wünsche ich Ihnen viel Vergnügen.
to see you then,
Ihnen
and
den
we'll hand you over
12
to
und 13.
our studio
Besuchen Sie die
after
vielen,
this.
vielen interessanten Stände. Schauen Sie mal.
Falls Sie mal ein neues Auto brauchen, im Internet finden Sie schnell und kostenlos das Richtige. Aus über 60.000 Gebrauchtwagenangeboten täglich. Unter www.autoscout24.de. Autoscout24, Deutschlands große Gebrauchtwagenbörse.
Time protects more than you alone.
Ihr neues Auto finden Sie schnell und kostenlos unter www.autoscout24.de oder 0180 5 3 die 7 3 die 4.
Enter the new era of home cinema with DVD, the media of the millennium. Digital cinema surround sound. Digital widescreen picture. Buy a Philips DVD player before the year 2000 and get 3 movies free.
A little better all the time.
Up-to-the-minute news, results, standings and reports on the key football events, both national and international. Plus live coverage on the matches that matter. Make Eurosport.com your football website. Are you a rugby fan? Then listen carefully. Which team just won the Rugby World Cup? France, Australia, New Zealand. Do you know the answer? Combined TV and video sets and dozens of Rugby World Cup official match balls must be won. Call now and good luck.
We're back live in Hanover, and Jocko 6-2, 6-2 in 55 minutes. Before, Enquist said, don't bet against Pete. Pete is Pete, but where was Pete?
I think he was already in the locker room before the match started again. I don't know what happened. I mean, it seemed to me that in the beginning he was playing well. He had some chances to break, which he didn't convert. And then when he didn't make them, I felt like he had no chance and said, well, maybe next time, maybe I'll save my energy for the next match.
You know, he served in volley every first and second serve, and that just surprised me a little bit. I mean, he must know that Andre is capable of returning his second serve.
Well, you saw that he only won like 33% of the second serves he played. But on the other hand, if he plays long rallies from the baseline, he's tired too. Why not let...
Well, you shouldn't be so tired. The one is coming in. Congratulations. That was quick, and you're quick here. That's very nice to see.
Sure.
I mean, I just said to him before the match, you know, Thomas Enquist said, well, you know, obviously you're the favorite, but then Pete is Pete. And I just said, well, where was Pete? I mean, did he just not have a chance, or what happened out there?
Well, he had a few opportunities early, but I think ultimately the lack of matches is a big factor. I mean, I could never play well enough to beat Pete 6-2, 6-2. It's not possible. But if he's playing one match in 3 months, and then he was trying to keep the points very short, so he was rushing a little bit on his ground strokes, and I think he was taking too big a chances on the second serve, and it's difficult. We're all very close out here.
But on the other hand, he wouldn't do something like that if he felt he had a little chance today maybe to qualify for the semis. He made only 6 unforced errors in the whole match, of which 2 double faults. I mean, that's and he attacked his backhand all the time.
Yeah, I was getting into his backhand, but the bottom line is that when Pete's playing his game, he's he has a lot of conviction when he makes a move. And today I think he was second-guessing his shots just a little bit, and I knew because he was pressing I didn't have to take as many chances. Sometimes when I play Pete, he makes me feel if I don't do something with one shot, he turns the point around. And today I felt like, all of a sudden he could miss, and I stayed more solid. I, of course, had to execute and had to stay solid, but I think Pete also gets an assist on this match.
Talking about feel, I saw your stringer before the match, and he said, Andre has the ultimate feel. When I miss by half a pound, he feels it. Is that true?
Yeah, I'm a bit anal that way. You get to know your racket like an extension of your hand, and for me, I don't play tennis one way. I play different ways. It's important I know my racket well.
You actually said that you started out hitting here, and then you said, well, last year the racket was 1 pound less, and it was accurate.
Right.
I mean, you have also obviously a fantastic memory.
Well, no, it's not that. I knew out here today because I've changed my string pattern. I've opened it up a little bit, so I'm using less strings, which means the ball's going to play a little quicker off your racket. And when he strung a few tensions, I picked the one I liked, and then I thought back to last year, and I said, for sure, last year, it was a pound tighter because it was a pound looser because it was a tighter string pattern. So I was guessing, but I felt pretty confident that if I felt good last year, I feel good this year. There's only one difference. It's easy conclusion.
Okay, let's look at this week. I mean, you're through. You won 2 matches. There's one more to come in the group. What does one do? Does one save energy? End of the year, you said before, you're a little tired and so on and so forth, so you don't want to lose your rhythm.
No, I don't want to lose, period. For me, every time I'm on the court, it's important to establish yourself, and guys trying to beat you all the time, and it does a lot for my confidence to win matches like this.
Well, thank you very much, Andre. You don't want to lose, period. And there are 2 tonight that don't want to lose, and they have to win. That's Nicolas Lapenti and Gustavo Curtin. That is at 7:30. We'll be back at 7:20 with the highlights. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
So confirmation earlier today, Thomas Enquist a winner against Nicholas Kiefer, 4-5, and Agassi thumping Sampras 2-2. Join us tonight at 6:30 British Eurosport time, 7:30 elsewhere.